On the quiet shore, further along the Firth of Forth, stands Linlithgow Palace, a favourite residence to all the Stuart monarchs and birthplace of Mary Queen of Scots. North of Linlithgow in Edinburgh, the Forth Rail Bridge crossing was opened in 1890. The bridge took 7 years to build. Almost 1.5 miles long, it is a monument to the genius of Victorian engineering. We're now entering the old kingdom of Fife, between the estuaries of the Forth and the Tay. Its isolation has protected both the man-made and natural beauties of the peninsula. The little fishing village of Crail has some imaginative decorations on the houses. Overlooking St Andrews Bay are the ruins of St Andrews Castle, destroyed by England's King Henry VIII when he declared war on Scotland in 1543. In 1654, part of the castle walls were used to repair the harbour. The cathedral, too, is in ruins, having been stripped during the Reformation in the 16th century. When it was built in the 12th century, it was the largest church in Scotland. St Andrews University is the oldest in Scotland, founded in 1411, and the golf course, laid out in 1754, is the premier course in all the world. The world's first professional golfers played here on one of the world's first 18-hole courses. Today it's the scene of the Open Golf Championship, which draws the attention of the whole world. A few miles inland from the eastern part of Fife, or the East Neuk as the local people call it, lies the village of Falkland. It grew up round the Palace of Falkland, for generations the favoured place of Scotland's royal family. The palace has been restored by the National Trust for Scotland. Back on the coast, the city of Dundee has a turbulent history, having been occupied and burned by warring troops, alternately English and Scottish, no less than 4 times between 1547 and 1745. Today, it is a prosperous city, thanks to a trade boom during the 19th century. Modern public buildings blend with Victorian pomp to create a city filled with civic pride. It is the home of the famous Dundee marmalade, together with other Scottish delicacies such as petticoat tails, a form of shortbread. Dundee cakes are exported all over the world as the perfect accompaniment to tea, or whisky if that's the way one's tastes go. As for fish, Dundee can offer as fine as anywhere in the world. Its fish shops are places of pilgrimage to those really in the know. On the waterfront sits another of Dundee's famous products, the ship Discovery, in which Captain Scott sailed on his fateful last voyage to the Antarctic. After all her adventures, she has come home to the city where she was built. Dundee has been a centre of shipbuilding and sailmaking since the early part of the 18th century. Dunfermline is at the western end of the Firth of Forth. While the ruined abbey was being excavated in 1818 to make way for a new church, the builders found the body of King Robert the Bruce, who won independence from England in 1314. Not far from the abbey stands the cottage in which Dunfermline's most famous modern son was born. Andrew Carnegie, the son of a poor hand-loom weaver, went on to become one of the greatest industrialists of the steel and railway age. Today the cottage looks as it did when Carnegie knew it as a boy, and it houses a museum that tells the remarkable story of his life, from the horrors of the voyage to America to his later prominence as a financier and philanthropist. Carnegie's fame spread all over the world, but he never forgot his native tongue. In 1902, he set up the Carnegie Dunfermline Trust for the benefit of local people. For a man who claimed not to believe in charity, he gave away a lot of money. More than $350 million. Further up the Firth of Forth, on the north shore, is the town of Corus, a unique survivor from the 17th and 18th centuries. The town is almost completely unchanged since the days when it was built. Sir George Bruce's palace dates from the late 16th century. Its ceilings, painted 100 years later, are typical of mansion house decoration of the time. A little way across the hills of Tayside, there is a small factory where Caithness glass is made. Using techniques that have not changed since they were pioneered in Venice centuries ago, Perthshire craftsmen produce paperweights of the most exquisite beauty. The little thistles from this workshop find their way all over the world as lasting mementos of the skill of their makers. Nearby, in the city of Perth, on the north shore of the River Tay, Branklin Garden, owned by the National Trust for Scotland, has been described as the finest 2 acres of private garden in the land. Its spring flowers are famous, and horticulturalists come from far and wide to admire. In the village of Cumbrae stands the headquarters of the Scottish Tartan Society. To an outsider, the complexity of tartans is dazzling, but each has its meaning, and each belongs to an individual clan. There are kilts here worn by John Brown, Queen Victoria's trusty servant, and a piece of the clan tartan that Neil Armstrong took with him to the moon. The tools and implements of this ancient art are preserved in a shed or bothy in the garden. To go with the tartan, bagpipes are not essential, though they are exported all over the world, wherever Scots gather. The sporran, or men's purse, is vital, however. No Scotsman is properly dressed without one, hanging in front of his kilt. Choosing a full Scottish rig is first a matter of finding which clan you belong to. Each clan contains a number of families entitled to wear its tartan. Then, when the tartan is selected, it's yours, whether you like it or not. Fine woolen cloth for the cool Scottish weather. The rest of the outfit comes next. The jacket, the belt, and of course the sporran are only part of the kit. Before he's fully dressed, this young man will need the right sort of socks or hose, and the little knife or scian-dubh to go in the right sock. And, of course, the swagger to carry off the most distinctive national dress in the world. Harry Lindley is a kilt maker and an expert on tartans.
Scotland is the home of tartan and goes back many centuries. The development is very interesting for everyone who shows interest in the Scottish clan system for well over 1,000 tartans. Many of them, of course, are recorded and registered and have heraldry tied up with them in the Lord Lion's office. The young men of Scotland in particular, for the 21st birthdays, will have a Highland outfit made, given them by their parents, or having their father's kilt outfit amended for him if his father's decided to give it up.
There's no doubt that in full Highland dress, a Scotsman can claim to be among the best dressed men in the world. Traditionally, the happy couple gives money to the children at the wedding before they leave.